Hello, everybody, GFX here, and today I'm doing a little different type of video. So, I recently made an announcement on my server asking if people want me to actually record making their art, and some of you said yeah. So, I'm gonna actually start recording some of the stuff that I make because I think if somebody wants to learn, it'll definitely help them because they'll see the process. No cuts, no little shortcuts, no nothing. I'm going to show everything. Of course, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I am working on commissions and this is a commission, but I will do my best to go slow and just relax. So let's go through this order. This one is Meholao. He is a good supporter of mine. He's been with me for a good while. He recently sent me actually two more files, and this honestly this actually helps because whatever files that somebody sends me are really useful. These are RBX files, so these are like maps, and we'll just see what he's sent. Now, so we're going into this completely blind, just like how I would go into a project completely blind, not knowing really what to expect. Damn. Okay then. So this one is for me. Okay. We have a bunch of different characters. Okay. What I like to do is I have this plugin that checks for broken unions. So like that, like that's not broken, so that's okay. But sometimes unions they can like explode, and so you just gotta fix them up real quick with that little tool that I have. But these guys look okay. Let's check the other file, parade map. I believe this is kind of similar to a map that he gave me before. But this looks good, no problems. I can definitely work with this. This will look good. So what I like to do, so this was one of his thumbnails. He wants something like this, like for like a rally ground sort of thing. And another one actually for like working out or whatever. It's like a training thumbnail. But what I like to do for something like this is I just like to select the whole thing. Let's see. There are these vehicles behind here. I'm gonna get rid of these because we don't really need them for these pieces of art. I'm just gonna get rid of them because when you export stuff from Studio, it just takes more time and sometimes it won't load everything, which is weird, but it's just how Roblox Studio is. Sometimes if you export too much, it doesn't export everything. It's, I gotta make sure I get those. So I think a better way to select everything will just be, I think kind of like doing like this, like a really big bird's eye view. Yeah, I think that'll work. That's enough. You don't need to get the whole building. Rally. But getting a good chunk of it will give you a lot of wiggle room to position the camera for your art. I will be right back. I'm gonna take a quick second. Alright, I am back. Let's see. Okay, so this looks like it all exported. I don't know why there's a couple people who got exported with it. There's probably a couple like characters around or something, just in random places. That's okay though. We'll get more into it when we actually go into Blender and sort everything out. So far though, this is good. We've done what we need to do here. We can move on to the next, which is this one. This one is a training image, I believe, but I don't know why. Not too sure why those ones are there, but I guess we'll see. For this one, he wanted more of a yeah training thumbnail where he specified wanted something of a training camp game, perhaps cadets doing some push-ups, a captain overseeing the exercise, cadets morale. That's perfectly fine. I exported some of the stuff already. I exported the captain stuff, the privates stuff, because there's like stuff on the shoulders. And I believe, which one was it? This one. So it's this one that he wants me to use. Okay. I have his other game. Let's see, where is it? This one. So we'll just go in there and we're gonna get it real quick. Oh boy. This is why art takes a while. It's just because you just need to take your time. As if because I've actually recorded a few other videos before, just haven't posted them. It just takes time. You gotta just take your time, enjoy the process. Because if you don't, then you're not gonna really enjoy what you're doing. You gotta be able to just take your time and get a nice result from taking your time. 'Cause a lot of people, they don't understand why it takes me so long to get art done. Like, yeah, I understand. It takes a while. But it's because if if I'm gonna take my time with your art and I'm taking care of your art and not trying to rush it, wouldn't I have to do the same with others? Because don't you? Because it's how you want to treat others. If you want your art take to be taken time with, then other people's art should be taken time with and given it the love and care that it deserves. So I think that's all I needed, except for a cover. Yeah, I need a cover. I think I'll just get this one. Get rid of the giver. You don't really need to get rid of the giver. I just get rid of it because it's kind of like an annoying little hitbox in game. But we don't. It doesn't really matter. I think there's like a little transparent head in there too. Yeah, this thing. Don't need that either. Just need the cover. We do this, unlisted cover. And now we can actually get on to the meat of what I want to actually do, which is actually making the art. And of course, there's probably going to be many changes that are needed that I probably got wrong. However, that's okay. It's all a part of the creative process. Well, I'll leave that notification just there. Not really necessary right now, but I'll probably look at it later in the video. But alright, we got everything that we need. Let's go to the test blocky rig. Now this is a rig that I recently started using. This one is not one that I've been using for a long time. I just copy it. Don't save that. Why is AI here? I just copy it, go over to Blender 3.5, and I just paste it. And I delete like the fun little shapes that come with it. I used to use this rig. This one is really good. I've been using this one for years. However, the reason why I switched to using this one is because I feel like it has a lot more lighting customizability with it. And so if you want to just slow down the video, see what I'm doing, changing the settings, you can. Now, not every computer will have GPU compute. I have a good graphics card. You have to have a NVIDIA graphics card to actually be able to do GPU compute. So that may not work for everyone, but it works for me, so I'm going to use it. Now let's go put a HDR and all these things that I'm doing. You can look it up in you can look it up in YouTube. There's a lot of great tutorials. Yeah, we just add an HDR, give it some lighting. So now when we render, yep, there you go. There's your scene. Film, make it transparent, get rid of the background, and now we're gonna delete this node because we don't have a really complicated face. And I actually haven't exported any textures of characters yet. I need to do that. Let me do that. I think I believe this is for the, yeah, this is for the rally grounds. So I'll leave that. I'll just do the training one first. So let's go back. That's not what I want. Yeah, I'm listening to music right now. I like to listen to music while I do art. Normally, I like to listen to things that are more deep. And I'm not really much into rap or things like that. I like to listen to a nice melody. See camp, yeah, this one. So we'll go back into here. We're gonna get the characters because I don't have any characters yet. And then for hair, normally other projects that I've had in the past have hair. So like, let's look here. That's not one that has one. Sherman, prison thing. Yeah, this one will have hair. Doesn't have techie hair though. There's like a specific hair that I use for a lot of things. Is it not here? Yeah, here it is. There you go. Get some hair. Perfect. There we go. And the first thing that we can do actually is we can add that hair. So we're gonna add an OBJ file, switch to desktop, hair. And there we go. And now we're just gonna put it on there like that. Beautiful. Gonna texture it. And I'm going kind of fast because this isn't really a tutorial. This is more just me showing how I do it and why it takes so long to make art. But if you slow it down, you can definitely pick up on a few things that I do. Now, next thing is faces, because you need faces. You need to actually make everyone look unique. Everyone right now looks exactly the same. They look like clone troopers from Star Wars. So let's actually give them some unique faces so that they can actually have some good characteristics. So let's go to the marketplace. Let's go to faces. Let's just pick out a couple. It's just a couple generic faces that you use for military groups like Concern, that's a good one. Tired, Scarface. Mm, the George faces are good too. Like if I type in George, Furious, and Navu. I don't even know how you say that word. Those are good. And Drill Sergeant, because you gotta have somebody yelling. Rage face. This is another good one. And there you go. We already got 7 faces to use that we can kind of use around for all of our characters. Now, are their uniforms different? No, they're not different. Okay, perfectly good. So let's just go and change their face. And when you see, if I copy and paste that, I'm gonna change it. There we go. Now we're gonna keep going. Another one. There we go. And then another one. And then another one. And we'll just go through until everyone has a nice looking face. Everyone's looking unique. Everyone's looking like an individual. Not everyone's the same. I don't know why Roblox got rid of some of the 2D faces and replaced it with like the 3D one. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Because like that one face that I'm not sure if where it's just like you're squinting your eyes and the mouth is kind of like straight. I don't know why they got rid of that one. That one was a really nice one to use. Here, there we go. We got everyone. Let's rename this guy. Go like off 1, like for officer. Off 2. There we go. And now when we export them all, it's gonna actually make them like separate files. So if I go export dudes, I know I just name it whatever. Sometimes dudes. Let's see, did it work? Yes, it did. So now we're gonna we're gonna rename this 4 off 1 off 2, and so that way that if I export another thing, it's not gonna override it because something that happens. If you export like another thing after you've already exported something else, it might just override the file and rename it to something else. Because a lot of Roblox assets they use the same name. Roblox doesn't really understand that it needs to use a different name, and so it'll just use the same name for a different thing over and over again, and so it'll replace textures, and then it'll cause you problems later down the line. So we don't need this right now. But we'll go back into the other game and we'll export the other stuff. But this is done. We got all the dudes that we need for this. Now we just need it. We need a little bit of a training area on his map. We can do. Honestly, I actually don't think I'm gonna even use his map. I might put this in the background. This looks like a cool thing to put in the background. I'll just do obby. But I want to make like a little nature scene. I don't want it to just be like a flat I want it to be like a nature thing. Oh, no rush. See, this is what I like about you guys. There's no rush. No rush, by the way. Everyone in JRPG GFX is very understanding of that I'm working and that I'm busy with a lot of commissions. Y'all are really nice, and I really appreciate that for you guys. And all these weird textures here, these blue ones, just get rid of them. This is another thing that people struggle on is texturing. So we'll actually get to that. But now what I like to do is I like to have like a file that just completely sets everything up. But before that, I'm going to get the stuff for the second thumbnail because I like to get everything ready. Wait, no, I think that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. No, this is the wrong one. Okay, I go back. As you can see, this is very raw. Nothing cut, nothing filtered out. I only left earlier because I needed to do something real fast. But now that I'm back, and I'm not going to be leaving for things. Thanks for this. This is a different cover. This is a different cover. Okay. Not too sure where these guys fit in terms of like ranks, because I'm not a part of his group. I don't know how he ranks things, but we'll keep going. For this, because I don't know what this is for. I think this is like armored. It looks like armored, but I could be completely wrong. I just like to like name it after the color. So like black arm, and then we go to the head. Sometimes people put the covers inside like the head thing, which doesn't really help because I have to like export it individually. So you know like black cover, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. You just go in there, you just get it. And torso, I'm assuming, yep, the belt is in there too. Now if an asset is like the same for each of these, like so like for here, like I can tell like the belt's the same. I just export it once. I just name it belt. Because if you export it multiple times, you're just getting the same thing multiple times. And now I'm gonna name this one. No, not that one. I'll name it armor. And then rename it, of course. Armor. Again, I have no idea if that's armor or not, but we're just gonna call it armor for now. Put all that together. I like to keep my desktop very organized when working on stuff. I like to put it all together. So like that'll go there. That goes like that. There we go. Beautiful. And then we got a navy dude over here. I'll say this uniform looks pretty cool. Get rid of the hair again. Any textures? Nope. Good. So navy cover. I'm assuming this is for the rally ground. I wouldn't imagine this for anything else. Definitely rally ground. So navy, that's all that there was. Now, I'm just going to use this face that he already gave for it because it works. So, navy. Because it is a good face. It is a good face. That face, I forgot what it's called. But it is a good face to use. So, we're going to use it. And now we got this dude. This one is the same belt again. It's just a different color. So I honestly don't need to re-export it again. Just a little bit of a time save. But now that we're here, just check in. Export this. Navy Marshal. So Navy Marshal cover. I just like to name everything after what it is, just so that it helps organize it. A lot of what I do is just to help organize everything for myself, because art does take a long time to do, and so any little thing that can help me differentiate things later down in the process helps. But you're gonna see how long this takes. This video is gonna end up being like 2 hours. So Marshall. Why is that? I hate this AI thing in the corner. Can I turn this off? I have no idea. I thought I turned it off before, but maybe it was like, you know what? We're gonna turn it right back on. You selected turn off. Well, too bad. All right. I believe this is Mahalo. This is like his thing. And these are just two officers. Okay. We don't need to re-export these dudes. We already have a couple dudes that are like this. We just need to get the webbing. Yeah. I'll just say enlisted dress webbing. And then keep going. I'm not gonna export the different ranks because it's a really insignificant detail in the grand scheme of things. You're not gonna be able to see it in the image. And I'm just gonna use the regular private one. And then for this one, I don't know how close that the second lieutenant's gonna be, so I'm going to say 2LT. I will export these guys as his shoulder. I think they're called epaulets. If I'm mispronouncing that, I'm probably mispronouncing it horribly, but I think I'm saying it right. Epaulets. Alright. Still more of the same thing. A lot of it's just repetition. 2LT cover. 2LT cover. There we go. Don't need to re-export the equipment. Actually, I might need to. Actually, yeah, I will. Because that's different. Yeah, it has the shoulder, it has the little collar things. So officer, so I am gonna have to make this a little bit different. And if it, damn, look at all those files. Yeah, there's a lot of like mess that comes with exporting things because Roblox likes to give you all the files. Likes to give you everything. So that's dress webbing, officer webbing. But what I do see is that these are the same. Yeah, those are the same. Don't know what this guy had. This is different. Look at this dude's stuff. The captain. Wait, don't I already have a captain cover? Yeah, I do. So actually, this is fine. I don't need this dude anymore. Yeah, that's actually fine. I don't need to get his stuff. Okay, cool. That does save some time. There we go. All right, and now onto the general. Gen arm. Gen cover. I like to keep like the first part of every. If it's the same model, I like to keep every like the first part of the name similar. So like gen for general. It just keeps things organized. Gen webbing, and I have a kind of a specific way that I name things. Like even if like this could be considered a belt, but I always just call it webbing. Don't know why, I just call it webbing. Let me make sure that that dude's stuff. Let me make sure on something real quick. I'm gonna read. If you're not sure, like if you like delete something like that and then like you don't have it back, you can just re-download the file. Just check. Okay, I just want to check if that armored guy, if he had those collar things. No, he didn't. Okay, so okay, perfectly okay. This, and I can still use the same one for this dude for that one. Okay. And then covers. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna use the 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 fabric cover, the one that's not a helmet, because I think that looks pretty cool. But now I need faces for these dudes. I need faces for these dudes. Let's see what we got. We can use eye roll. Eye roll works. We can use some of the same faces because you're not gonna see everyone's face. Oops. I've done that how many times now? I just accidentally opened up OBS. Interesting. Interesting. He uses his face a lot, so I'm gonna use that face. So we can. That's good. So off 3. Gen. And then like for this I just name it E. E because it's really simple. I don't know why that's. Let me check this. So that's off 3. Gen. There we go. And then we got all the files. Gen arm, gen webbing, E, don't need that one. There we go. There we go. We got a lot of files, and we're actually still not done. We still got more to export. Oh no, wait, no. Do we? We have the Navy, we have the Marshal, we have the Armored. I think that's it. That's it. Alright, cool. We can actually go on to the next most tedious part of the process. Blender and texturing. Because all those individual things that we just exported, we gotta individually select every single one, and we're gonna texture every single one. And when we're gonna export this, it's gonna lag like crazy. And there you go. We gotta texture all of this. Texture it one by one. Set up every character one by one. And then of course pose. Do all the other extra things that we gotta do. This is why this is a setup file, because we gotta set it up. Because when you have a lot, when it's a lot of assets like this, I need to set up because it makes it easier to grab things for the other files. And a lot of these things are similar. You're gonna see a lot of these things, they're really similar. A lot of assets are really similar, but they have their differences that you need to account for. Like covers, like officer covers, they're gonna look extremely similar, but they may have like a small difference that then you'll have to export it. You're gonna have to export it separately and then texture it separately because it just has those minute differences. And so it's just a little thing that you have to be prepared for. Especially if you do commissions, you're gonna have to be prepared. Let's see how I normally so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy how many characters I need. So I normally go through this like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm gonna need 12 of these dudes, so I'm gonna need to copy this 2 more times. Delete all these. I normally just cause I get everyone together first. I like to make all the characters first, even though it might not be as efficient as as it could be. It's just the easiest way to get everyone I need. So now, using my little window up here, I can see what this is. So this is a belt. So this is the one that I exported. This is the one that I exported that didn't have any officer symbol on it, so I can just. So this is going to be for the armored guy. So I'm going to like arm, or put that in the bottom one, and then put it in the top one. And there he is. There he is. In the flesh and the blood. I guess he isn't flesh. He's a Lego piece. He's literally Lego. Okay. This is another thing that happens sometimes. Sometimes things aren't straight, and you can't tell in game. But when you go to Blender, you're gonna notice it. You're just gonna be like, "Why is that not straight?" And so I just gotta fix that real quick. But now that's good. Perfect. Let's see, what other character used that belt? I believe it was the Marshal. So I can just go here, Marshal. There we go. And now, we'll save the texturing for later. What cover does this dude have? Did he have any cover? This is why I still haven't deleted anything. I gotta make sure he doesn't have a cover. I don't think oh no, he does. He does. Did I import it? Yes, I did. There we go. Put that right there for now. I'm not gonna position it perfectly. So this is the Marshal, and I need the Marshal's cover. This one, Marshal cover. Nope, don't want to do that. Now we're just gonna start going through all of the. Oh, not diff. You want to go through all of the enlisted. 1, 2, and I need to do the bottom one, otherwise it's gonna be a bit goofy. I don't know why it does that, but it just does. 3. You see why it takes so long now? This is why this is what takes the longest. Setting up, getting everything. The longest part. Second longest part, posing. But this is why art takes a while. This is a really in-depth hands-on look of why it takes so long, because this is not skipping any steps. This is showing everything as it is, because this is a genuine commission that I'm working on. I don't know why I keep re-emphasizing. This is a genuine commission. I am working on it. I guess it's just to get the point across. Because I think a lot of people, because I remember when I first started doing graphic design, it was like 200 Robux for a thumbnail. And I remember one guy coming up to me saying, you need to lower your prices. That is way too expensive for just a piece of art. And that kind of stuck with me. I remember that. Because I remember him basically being like, oh, nobody's going to go to you. Nobody's going to request from you. That's way too expensive. Well, I'm still here. I still got all you guys. Whoever's watching this still at this point. I doubt anyone's watching it at this point. But maybe there's some ASMR value in this. Hence why I'm not trying to talk too loud. Get some ASMR out of this. Get those nice tingles. I've been joking around saying that I'm gonna be the Bob Ross of the GFX community on Roblox. Maybe I will be. All right. Now that we've done that, what I like to do, cause like you see how the camera's kind of like moving a lot, and I can't really get like a good angle on this to see if I'm moving it effectively. A little trick that I've learned doesn't always work. If you spawn in a camera, you go to view, navigation, walk navigation. If you like position it at the character, it actually centers centers your camera around that little area. Doesn't work all the time, but sometimes it does really work, and then it just allows me to get really good slow camera movement, so I can like perfect the positioning of it. And see, look, now the camera's slower, so I can make more small adjustments. Cause see like that, yeah, see, small adjustments, and if I was like out like this, I couldn't really make that as easy. So zooming in, getting a good look, that helps. So we got that. Which one is this one? -90. This is that is the fun webbing. That's the dress webbing. This is the more serious webbing. This is for when you're in the trenches kind of webbing. Don't got the time to show off. Hey, what rank are you? I have. Oh, just look at my collar right here. Oh no, artillery's everywhere. Don't got the time to look at who you're talking to. Like just get over that ridge and take it. All right, let's see. General cover. General cover. What's this one? 2LT. Oh, that's right. I also have to put the shoulder things. I completely. Oh, I almost forgot about that. It's gonna take some time. Because there's gonna be another trick that you're gonna see that I don't do for every piece of art, but you're definitely see it for this one. And this is a trick that I learned from a YouTube video. Because Star Wars stuff, the morphs, if you let's say you're trying to pose that and you're just trying to do it manually, you're gonna be there for hours. And I should know because before I knew I knew the trick. I individually posed each piece of armor because for people who make morphs, you know every individual piece. You got the upper arms, the lower arms, you got the hand pieces, you got the boots, lower leg, upper leg. I used to pose that all individually. And so from trial and error, I know how long that takes. just because of how just because of how I didn't know what to do. So I knew firsthand how long it would take, which is hours. And let's say you have a guy requesting 30 pieces of art, and you're doing that, hours, days even, to just get that done. Thankfully, that was the order where I was like, you know what? I'm done manually posing all this. Let's see if there's a way to do it better. And thank goodness that I found a better way. Thank goodness that video that I saw, that dude blessed me with the knowledge of how to attach armor like that to the Roblox character and not have to individually pose it, because that would be a torture. I wouldn't want anyone to have to go through that. General cover. And as you can see, we still haven't textured anything. We're still posing. We're still just getting these things into place. I don't know how many minutes it's been. Let's check OBS. How many minutes it's been? It's been 36 minutes, and we still haven't even like gotten to the part of rendering anything. Let me check my phone real quick, make sure nothing's going on while we're doing this. Still gotta make sure that I'm not ignoring people. Nobody really texts me, but my girlfriend, I gotta make sure that I'm not ignoring her. Alright, this is the general cover, I believe. Yes, it is. We're gonna pose this up, put this on his head, get on the head. That's not on the head right. Get. There we go. I'm gonna change the music I'm listening to. This song's getting annoying now. If the cover's a bit too small to add hair like this, what I do is I like to scale up a bit, like 1.05. And it still looks exactly the same. It's like only a little bit bigger. And it fits the head better. You can't even see his eyes. Oh my goodness. You can't even see his eyes. Let's do this. Let's lean it back a bit. That's better. It's not straight either. I gotta make it straight enough a bit. There we go. Beautiful. Is that not straight? I don't think it's uniform. If I turn it more, no, that's not centered. Okay, that's fine. If it's not centered, there's not much I can do about that. I can't fix that individually. What cover is this? This is the Captain cover. Captain! Look! Yeah, I'm gonna change my music. Give me a sec. Alright, we're back into it. Changed my music to be something a bit different because I was getting tired of listening to the same song over and over again. I don't know about y'all. I like to listen to songs on repeat sometimes. If I'm just like really in love with it, I just listen to it on repeat. But after like 40 minutes, it gets annoying. So I just changed it out for something better, something different. All right, and now this song. I'm listening to Bees Gees right now, or Bee Gees. Beautiful. This is giving me the energy. Great song. Absolutely great song. I wanna hum, but I can't hum because I don't know if it'll affect anything with the video. Sometimes when I get in a good mood, I just start humming, singing along. Cause you gotta have fun with this. You gotta have fun. Gotta have fun making art. Can't be serious all the time. Gotta have some fun with it. Well, actually, the whole thing is supposed to be fun. None of it's serious, except for the part where you gotta make sure that that your client likes it. How deep is your love? Your love, this is your love. sing. There we go. I don't think it's crossed my mind that this is gonna be uploaded to YouTube. So I'm just like doing whatever. I'm just going about this like a normal thing. Alright, let's see what we got. General, Lieutenant, Captain. What is this one? That one goes there. Cause we're living in a world of sin. This one goes here. This one goes here. Sometimes I get a bit more quiet when I'm doing stuff. If I'm just vibing to music, I get quiet. I just start just vibing. I don't know how many people do that. When you listen to just some music that just sounds so good, it just feels like nothing can stop you. You just like you just get in that state. These are gonna have to go on the other side of the arm. And now, we're actually almost there now. We're actually almost done with this part. Of course, we're not almost done with the art. No, we haven't even actually started the actual art. We're barely getting the start of it done. There we go. Do I have YouTube autoplay on? I don't know if I have YouTube autoplay on. I should check that. I don't hear the next song playing. Well, I guess we're gonna be checking together. No problem. No problem. There we go. All right. That's the wrong way. All of the epaulets, they're almost all in place. Almost ready to color them. Because everything's pink. Alright, no, we got this guy's stuff still. Just this guy. And now, oh, would you look at that? Everything's on the characters as it should be. And you're probably like, you didn't do these guys. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I got a little bit of a thing that I do to make it. I make my job faster. I think this is it though. Now we can do the next thing. Texturing. Yeah, yahoo, yippee. Yeah. It's another tedious task, but still a fun task because you get to see everything kind of look realistic. That's why texturing is fun because you get to see everything kind of start to pop out. And now I just selected his arm, so now I gotta select everything over again. And I know you Blender geeks are gonna be like, oh, you could have just clicked that again. You would have deselected it. Yeah, well, yeah. If I select it again, it'll deselect it. Actually, I should have just done that. I did it again. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, we got everything selected. Edit mode. Switch it to the square thing, the select mode. Now we're gonna start texturing these bad boys. A lot of these covers are gonna share the same colors. Same colors. And so I have a little folder of textures that I've saved that I like. You can do the same. Good websites to get textures from: Texture Haven, textures.com. Those are the two websites that I mainly use. I also have a Blender add-on called Blender Kit, and it is the most useful useful thing that I could ever ask for the Blender, because it basically allows you to get textures from like inside Blender. All right, let's make this texture smaller, and of course it's gonna look black. That's okay. We're gonna adjust. We're just gonna slightly adjust how it looks with the color ramp node. The color ramp node is what I always use for all these pieces of art. And there we go. That don't look too bad. You can see the details in that. Let me get some more music going after I finish this cover. But after we finish this cover, every other cover will be smooth sound. Oh, why is there no texture? It's the texture is so small you can't even see it. Actually, that's actually perfect. That's actually perfect. That actually looks great. Now it's bigger. Texturing, your texturing doesn't got to be perfect. My texturing definitely isn't perfect. It could be so much better. But if you think about it, texturing is so subtle. Nobody, if you even like, if I was going to make this like extremely small, make it so that it looks stunning, spectacular, no one's gonna see it. Most people don't even notice the textures. In more pronounced textures like on cover, yeah. But if there's like a small candle that's like really far in the distance in your scene, and you're like trying your hardest to make it look look spectacular, like where it has the highest detail possible, you don't really need to. All you gotta do is just, because it's not the focal point of the scene. I prioritize detail onto the focal points of the scene. So like here, the covers, the characters, they all have importance because they're the main focus of the scene. So that's why I'm giving them extra detail. But like if it's like a small sign and it's just there, I don't texture it. I give it a bit of shine, so of course it's not like flat. So it's not flat, but I don't try to overemphasize it because again, nobody's really gonna see it. And from there, a lot of that kind of intuition, it just takes practice. Art is a long process. It takes practice. Like for this, nobody's gonna be really noticing the detail on that. You can just do that, and that'll make it shine a bit if somebody does see it. Same thing with this. This has a lot of detail already in it, so we can just turn up the shine, turn on or up the metallic, turn down the roughness so that it has a little bit of a sparkle to it, and then from there you're good. Here, oops, change that to black. I don't like to go full black because I like to do like a little bit of a gray, so it doesn't just look like it's absorbing every single light. And then that looks good. And then for like metal things, like the actual like belt thing, just turn on the metallic, turn on the roughness. Sometimes I give it a texture if I'm feeling really snazzy, but normally it doesn't need it. And then this is the same color as this. We're just gonna copy it over. That's gonna be the same as this, I imagine. So we're just gonna copy it over. There we go. There we go. Nice. Nice. We're gonna turn down the specular on his character. And we'll do the same thing for all of them. There we go. And now he's done. Look at that. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. And with that, I'm gonna switch out some music. There we go. I'm gonna skip the ad though. No, let's skip the ad. And then I don't know where autoplay is. Autoplay. There we go. That way I'm not gonna have to keep switching out my music. See, you're getting the full authentic experience. Even me switching out my music. Now you can look up what music I listen to and see what gets me going for making art. Like this song right here. Mm, beautiful. It has a wonderful saxophone, and it just sends you. It just sends you. There we go. That's supposed to be just purely white. That one's not going to be dirty. And this is me going fast. This is me going fast now, because I've now shown you basically how it all works, so I'm just going to kind of speed it up a bit. I don't normally go this fast, though. I don't normally do. Normally I just take a good amount of time, because it's fun to make art. Almost there. Just that little last pink bit. There we go. That's okay. There we go. Got it. A lot of this, it's going to be the same textures. So I'm just selecting both of them. And then what you're going to see is I'm literally just going to copy it over. There's no uniqueness to some of these textures. And that's where this process speeds up, because you don't got to think about what you're going to be texturing. You just copying, pasting, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Because it's the same texture. It's not like they're using a completely different. It's not like that. Your other soldiers are using a completely different fabric. No, everyone's gonna be kind of using the same thing. You're just gonna see me speed running this. Even with me speed running it, it's still taking a while. Blue. There we go. Ooh, what happened there? Ooh. Ooh, are there two cover? Is what is it? Is that two covers stacked on top of each other? Ooh. It's two different things clipping into each other. That's what that is. Okay, if that's a problem, we'll address that later. For now, it looks okay, but we may need to address that later. We'll see. Tell me what your drinks are, and if the night will never give you what you want. There we go. There we go. Still wondering if that's going to be a problem. I'm going to check the other caps. Because if that's a problem for all of them, that's going to be sucky. Let's see. If I do this one. Ooh. Why? Why? Why does it do that? I don't think it's, I don't even think it's two covers stacked on top of each other. I think it's just messed up. I don't know why, but that's not my job to fix. I can't fix the model itself. I can only texture it, make it look okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm assuming it's going to be like that for the rest of the, for that cover too. It's fine. It'll only matter if it appears in render. All right. Well, we're gonna fix that in a second. I'm just gotta keep going. Oh, that one's even worse. That one shows literally none of the black. It's just like a couple corners. I think the mesh. I think the mesh exploded. Sometimes what can happen from what I've noticed, if you like model something and then you kind of have it like go back, you kind of give it like a second layer. I think that also messes it up. But let's see. Yep, that was the whole problem, was that thing. There we go. Interesting. And so with that, we can probably fix this one too. Yep. Alright, no problem. Looks okay. This one's the only one that I'm like, why is it still looking a bit funky? But it looks okay. It's not going to be as big of an issue as I thought it might be. I don't know what song this one is, but this song I'm listening to. Heck yeah, I wish you guys could listen to it with me. Nobody's watching to this point. If you are watching to this point, type in the comments, can you see the quack quack? I doubt anyone will see this. Will see this video this far through. I'm not that interesting. I try to be interesting. Try to keep talking. Give some conversation. But I can only do so much. It's okay though. I'm happy to be showing off what I get to do. And I enjoy showing what I get to do because this is fun. There we go. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Really, that's the center? Okay then. There we go. Look at these dudes. They're coming together now. They're coming together now. Look at that. It's fun to see it come together when you realize they're not just blocky looking things anymore. They're actually becoming characters. Because before he was just like a little, it was just a gray blob. Now it looks like an actual Roblox character with somebody who's maybe actually them, with somebody who actually plays that character, which is cool to think about. Because if you think about it, you're like, oh, there could be someone exactly like this in Roblox right now if they really wanted to. They could wear these clothes and they could wear this stuff. I'm just gonna do this all now and make sure turn on the sheen on all of them. There we go. What I'm gonna do for this is I'm gonna get this texture and then bring it back over here to this cover. This one shouldn't be too hard. It should be the webbing that's harder than the cover. The cover is not going to be that bad. Damn, the texture is small. Damn, it's giving it good detail though. I will say I like it. This is also fabric. Slightly different color, but we'll give it a different color. We'll give it what it's supposed to be. There we go. Not bad. Oops. Well, I don't know what color that is now. That's a problem. But we got this one, which is like exactly the same color. Watch me do the same mistake. Now we gotta fix the texture. Oops. Come on, there we go. There we go. There we go. Make that the right color. Nice. This color. There we go. Actually, I don't know if you guys can even hear my keyboard or my mouse. That'd be kind of interesting to hear all the clicking and clacking of my keyboard and also my mouse. Nice. Beautiful. There we go. It's looking good, looking good. Now we can bring the epaulets. Now there was a faster thing that I could have done for this, but I didn't do it. I forgot. That's okay though. Even me, who's been doing this for years, can make little mistakes that make things take longer than they could. That's okay though. You gotta make mistakes to learn. You gotta enjoy your mistakes. Because if you were perfect every single time, there would be nothing to improve on. You would just get bored because you know that you can make the most amazing things. Like me, I love making art because I know that every time I do it, even me, who's been doing this for over 3 years, there's still so much I can improve on. I can improve on my texturing, my lighting. I can improve on my scenes, how I pose the characters. Everything is improvable. Nothing is perfect. There's always a way that you can improve it, no matter what. And that's the beautiful thing, because you can always grow. So even if you feel like that you're stuck, let's say that you're a modeler and you feel like you've hit like a rut, just keep going. You'll you'll hit that little milestone, and all of a sudden everything will just click. Sometimes when I'm doing art, something just changes. It's one piece of art, and for some reason, it just feels different. It feels like I've like done something and mastered something different. Like even just yesterday, I was doing some prison art, and what happened was I finished a piece of art, and I just looked at it and realized that I did something that looked photorealistic, and I've never really accomplished that before. And it had a lot of grunge, it had a lot of good details to it. I'm like, wow, me 2 years ago never would have thought I could make something like this. Because as you keep going, you're gonna get more experience and you're gonna get more used to kind of like thinking about how things should be, because a lot of art, a lot of it, yeah, is knowing the technical things, so like knowing how to texture, knowing how to do this, do that, know how to export a model correctly, know to get rid of the textures and then so that you don't have any issues. But a lot of art as well is also just experience. And so that's why that's why when there's new artists and they ask me to rate their work, I don't like to be like, "Oh, this completely sucks." Because it doesn't suck. There's definitely room for improvement, but it's your first piece of work. You got to be okay with that, with seeing yourself improve, because there's always something you can improve on. And from the start, you're gonna feel like, man, how can I ever compare to these other artists? And now me, I compare myself a lot. I still compare myself, but just don't. You create your own style. If you're happy with what you're making, be happy with what you're making. Always, of course, try to improve. But if you're at a place where you feel like you're happy, then that's good. And with experience and with time, you will want to improve. You'll just start improving without even trying, and you'll just feel the urge like, oh, I want to try this. I want to do that. Maybe there's a better way to do this, or do that, or do this. And you'll eventually you'll just start realizing, oh, I've actually come quite a long way. And that's how it is for me. I'm like, wow, I've come quite a long way. Because a lot of people are like, how did you do art? How did you get started? I started by just looking at somebody else's art. I was like, I want to make something like that. And my first piece of art, horrible, absolutely horrible. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel called a JRPG GFX. I think it's like I think it's just like I forgot the name of it when I named it, but it basically just goes over like thank you for being here with me and showing them like my first piece of art, which was garbage, and then I did another piece of art, garbage, but not as garbage, and then it just takes time to get better. So if you're wanting to learn art, don't beat yourself up over not getting the most spectacular looking thing the first time around. Just get your just get your foot in the door and just get creative. What I also suggest people doing when they first start out graphic design is make things that you like. Focus on what you like to make, because that'll make it more fun. Because you'll be more eager to do art because you're like, oh, I'm making this for myself, and it's fun because you're making it for yourself, and it's just something about that really makes it stand out. Also, I need to switch these belts around. This guy doesn't get a black belt. I think it's this dude who gets a black belt. Nope, it's the marshal. Put that back. There we go. There we go. Tastes so sweet, it hurts a little. There we go. The camera's getting a bit choppy now with how it zooms in and out. I can select that though. There we go. Not bad. These guys are all done. Would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that? We got like so much more pink. When you think you're done, you're not done. There's still a little bit more to go. We're almost there though. I will say this has been a very fun thing to do, recording myself. I'm just getting to talk. I don't really talk to anyone. I'm an only child. I don't really have siblings. So getting to just talk, being given an excuse to talk, it just feels great. I know I like talking to you guys. I love talking to you guys in your tickets in the server. It's just something fun to do. I like interacting with the JP GFX community. I will definitely say the JP GFX community. I am so grateful for you guys. You guys are very understanding, very ambitious with your art. I will say. Some of you guys like want like the most complicated things. You just like, I want this massive structure in this piece of art right now. 2 days. I'm like, bet, let's get it done. And it's fun. Love working with you guys. A lot of this video is just gonna be praising you guys for how great you guys are. Uh, and I think you guys understand that. You guys, because once you have somebody, because I've heard from other people that other developers are really uh mean. Also, if you're wondering how I'm getting, if you're wondering what this is, what I'm typing into, this is Blender Kit. This is the add-on I was talking about earlier. This is Blender Kit. It basically allows you to get textures in in Blender without having to leave Blender, which is really handy. Let's make this brown. Going back to what I was saying, though, I've heard nightmares about other developers that other developers just don't treat people with kindness, and I'm like, why? I thought it was the normal to treat people kindly. A lot of people who I met, like everyone in the server is so nice. Everyone here is just vibing. They just want some art for their stuff. They're just looking to get some art. They know what they want. You guys know what you want. Y'all are just very understanding. If I take a while, you understand why. You perfectly understand why, because you know it takes a while to get stuff done. Y'all are running groups yourself. Takes a while to get things off the ground running. And that's what I like about small groups. A lot of what I do is not for really big groups. It's more for smaller groups, which I think is such a beautiful thing because small groups small groups are the backbone of Roblox communities. The small communities are some of the most memorable things you will ever experience. It'll give you lifelong friends. It'll give you friends that you will look fond. It'll give you memories that you're fond of, even 10 years down the line. Because I'm sure those of you in military groups, military roleplay groups, you're thinking right now. You're thinking of all those buddies that you made, all those friends, those good buddies that you made along the way. Y'all were messing around. If you had an officer driving a jeep, just racing. Sure, I'm sure someone who's watching this has had like a race with an officer or something. Y'all are just speeding down the road. Military police like, hey, stop it! What are you doing? Good times. Good times. There we go. Ah, would you look at that? We're done texturing, and now I can turn off this. I can go back to this view. My blender is gonna crash. There's no way. It's gonna crash. Okay, thank goodness. I was about to say it's gonna crash. All right, now I'm gonna save this. You shouldn't save it this late. You should save it like immediately as you create the file and save it throughout. But I actually didn't even realize that I didn't save it. But there we go. I just named it Meholas setup. So this is all good to go. This is all good to go. Only thing that I didn't do is the rally ground, but I'll do that once we get to the rally ground image because I'm gonna make the training thumbnail first. But there was one more thing that I promised you, and there's one more thing that I'm gonna do. These. This is what I learned of how to make sure that if I rotate the arm, because if you look, if I just rotate it like this, it's not gonna turn with it. So if I try to pose it this, then I'm gonna have to pose that with it. And we don't want that. We want it to turn with the arm. And how you do that is you go to constraint, add object constraint, child of, and select the rig. And now there's bones in this thing. You won't really know the bones because you've never had the rig. But if you go into edit mode and you go like into the thing, you're gonna see these bones. And to get the name of the bone, up here in the top left, it'll say like upper arm R, and then this is lower arm R. Go down here, upper leg R, so upper leg right, lower torso, upper torso, head, and then you have a bunch of extras. Some of these aren't really these aren't needed, but depending on your rig, they may be named differently. So just look at your rig, get comfortable with it, figure out what it is. But for me, this is upper arm right, and this upper arm left. And we're gonna keep going for the whole thing. Upper arm. Good. Oh, I know. I just selected the arm. I meant to select the I meant to select the damn epaulette. There we go. Upper arm left. And you can see why this takes a little bit of time. You gotta go through each one of these. Upper arm right. Upper arm left. Upper arm right. Also, always set inverse, because if you don't, it'll just put it in a random spot. I don't know why. Upper arm left. Upper arm right. Upper arm left. And this is where I could have saved time. I could have just like done this, copy and pasted the dude, instead of doing this manually for each one, but I didn't do that. Upper arm right. Upper arm left. No, upper arm left. Even if you don't spell it right, it should be there. Almost there. There we go. We're almost there. Just a little bit more. Good. 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 Left. Right. And now now that that's all done, what next I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make sure that these are all evenly spaced, that they're on correctly. That's good, 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 good. 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 Perfect. Everything's textured. Everybody's ready to rumble. Everyone's ready to rumble and roll. We can now get to the part that we've all been waiting for. We can actually make the art. Yippee! My goodness, that took a while. So for the first one, let's see. Sus rank insignia. That's funny. Let's see. I believe for the training one, he wanted a lieutenant is doing some exercise to boost the cadets' morale. And the captain is overseeing it. Yep. So let's get. Oh, that's right. Whenever you, okay, so another thing to know when you're doing this, if you select everything, you're gonna notice that the epaulets that things start flying away, and these remember these are the parts that we constrained, so you don't want to select those, and then they'll stay. But if you want to like take it and put it in like another thing, you have to do that. I'll show you what I mean, because that what I just said made no sense. We're gonna copy all these dudes, copy that, and now, of course, I'm gonna save it. But now, we're gonna open a new Blender file. Now we can work our magic and make the scene the moment you've been waiting for. Honestly, if this is the wrong cover, it's fine. I'm just gonna if I have to replace the cover, perfectly okay. Let's see. Now to create ground, because a lot of people also question that, like, how do you make ground? Just take a plane like this. Take a plane. Pick a plane. If you're taking Calculus 3, this is gonna sound fun. You're gonna be like, planes. Oh no, is Blender? Okay, Blender's okay. Let's name this training thumbnail. But yeah, we're gonna take a plane in the XY plane. I took Calculus 3 last semester. I'm just thinking about the XY plane because this is like kind of like that. If you took in calculus, you may know what I'm talking about. Clarence, put an HDR back so that we got some good lighting, so we can see what we're doing. Make it transparent until we may need it later. Now to do this, we're just gonna to set up a print to set up a texture. You're gonna want to press Control Shift and T, and if you for me I have textures. You're gonna see these kind of files like when you download from Texture Haven. You're gonna get these. And so when you go here, like for me, I'm gonna do brown mud. Go to textures and select all of these, and it'll just set it up for you. Now with this selected, go to edit mode, go to the select mode, and press U on your keyboard, unwrap, and now right click, subdivide, 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 and don't do it too much, otherwise it'll destroy your computer. It'll basically make everything crash because subdivisions take up a lot of memory. It's really hard for the computer to calculate every single subdivision. Next, we're gonna go to the modifiers tab, which is this wrench thing here. Subdivision surface. Switch the render to 1 because we don't really need them anymore. Displace, new. Go to this little like thing right here. Clouds. Switch the strength to like 0.1, 0.05, whatever you feel is comfortable. I'm gonna go with like a 0.25 like that. I don't want this to be like bumpy, like extremely bumpy. Next, we're gonna add another subdivision surface. Switch the render to 1. You can keep it at 2 if you really want to, but it just depends on your computer. Sometimes my computer doesn't really like it. And I have a 3080, so that's telling you something. Now switch displace to UV. Go back to that little thing. Go to image, movie. What did I just do? And then go back to your textures. Go back to the one that you picked. I picked mud. And put the disp. If it has disp at the end, click that. You're going to see, oh, and you're going to be like, whoa, what is all that? Well, if you turn it down, gives it some bumpiness. And if we look, I mean, if we turn on the actual like rendered view, you'd be like, oh, it follows what exactly it's supposed to look like. And this was also from a video that I watched. Let's turn, it's gonna lag a bit. Let's turn on the specular. Too much specular. Yep, that looks good. All right, so for now, that's fine. Let's set up the rest of this. I'll just make this thumbnail and that'll be it. Let me text someone real quick. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . There we go. All right. I just texted. I just texted my babe, just telling them that I'm recording something right now, just real quick. And now for this, we're just gonna make it big. And if you really want to add more detail, you can shrink the texture because this is like big. Of course, it's not gonna work with like the UV, but I still think it works okay. The randomness and the height is perfectly okay. So that looks good. And now is setting up the camera. This is another thing that just comes with experience. Cause it's like, where's the best place to even put it? Cause you're gonna question. Let's see. This takes just trial and error. This takes trial and error. Cause the first place you pick may not look good. It's always okay to change where your camera is. Another thing that I do is if the scene's kind of big, you can turn out the focal length, and then you can get more in the scene. Some people they're like, hey, make it include the entire thing, like include all the way to the edges, like right here. You can't do that. It's only the camera is what you can see. It's only what the camera can see. What I'm thinking of is maybe what if we have some dudes up there on top, like doing the high wire, like the high ropes, and we have a couple dudes doing some push-ups or something like that. I think that would look pretty cool. Let's try that. And what I also like to do, I like to add a little bit of a tilt to the camera. It gives it a little bit more like a dramatic effect. Let's see how that looks. We're gonna switch the lighting around a bit. Lighting also takes time and experience, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this behind. That's object. That's not even the world. Go ahead, switch to world. All right, let's see. Where are the shadows? There we go. And then we got this going on. We got this whole thing going on. Looks pretty okay so far. We're far from done. We're far from done. But we got something going on. Let's check the officers first. Let's pose the officers. Days of thunder, living in the days of thunder. And then this is the and this is the captain. Oh no, that's the lieutenant. I got the wrong dude. That's okay. Let's go back to this is why we have the setup file. Because if you for some reason get the wrong thing, you can just go back in, get it brand spanking new and fresh. He wanted a lieutenant and a captain. Yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time to respond, but there we go. Captain. I guess I can close studio as well. But there we go. We got the correct dude now. The correct rank. All right, let's see this. Yes, I'm still watching. I find it funny how how YouTube they make it so that like, are you still watching? Yes, I'm still watching. And now comes the next part, posing the dudes. And you can see sometimes it's a bit buggy. It just doesn't work as you want it to. Now posing, don't worry about your posing. Posing comes with a lot of time. It takes a good amount of time to get good at posing, or you could get it right away. But posing is definitely something that takes a lot of time to master because it's all about just experience. Because when you're first posing a character, you can be like, how do I make him hold that? How do I make it look like that he's running? Just if you feel like you need work on that, just keep trying it till just keep trying it till you feel like you got it. Uh, well, I have an idea. What if we have what if we have his cadets kind of like in front of him like this, and he's looking at them. What we'll do, because we want to have like a main like focus for the scene. Actually, this is actually gonna work perfectly. We can have a bunch of them doing jumping jacks right here. You know, we can have the lieutenant in front of him, help, kind of like being like motivation. And this guy's gonna be like dead, like very prominent. He's like obviously he's in charge. Obviously you're gonna like as soon as you see him, oh, that's the big guy. He's in charge. I'm gonna put these guys closer together. I'm gonna need a couple more of these dudes though. It's gonna lag like crazy because I'm copying things. Yeah, once you start adding a bunch of characters, it gets laggy, and there's nothing you can really do about it because when you think about what you're copying the dudes, all the geometry, the information that comes with that geometry, and it's a lot of information to copy over. So it's understandable why it takes time, why it takes a little bit of time for Blender to copy things over, and moving a lot of geometry like this as well. Let's see. Make so that they're actually standing in the dirt, not that they're not just standing on, like hovering over it. There we go. There we go. You can't even see that dude, but we're still gonna pose him a little bit. Alright, let's see how we can make him look like they're doing some jumping jacks. If it helps posing, try doing it in real life. Think about the pose in real life. Or maybe we could have him do push-ups. Let me think. I think jumping jacks will look cooler though. But yeah, if it helps you, sometimes what I do is I act out the pose in real life just to kind of get an idea of how I should put their arms. Like right now, I'm generally thinking about like doing an actual jumping jack and seeing what it looks like. Because you don't really think about what it looks like until you actually do it, and you're like, oh, that's how it looks. Because your perception of a jumping jack and how it actually looks might look different. Because like let me check it real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna actually do a jumping jack, and I'm gonna be in like that position where you have your hands over your head. I think what I got for him is pretty close. Got your hands kind of over your head, not fully over your head, but kind of off to the side over your head. and then you have your legs spread apart a little bit. Because, yeah, that actually does help posing. If you just actually do the pose, it does help. It genuinely does help. Because you're like, oh, you just pose the leg a little bit out like this, and then you got it. And of course, these are Lego characters, so you can't get it, like, exactly good, but close enough is good. So sometimes I like to position the feet. And it looks kind of funny when their arms are like this. You're like, what the heck? But then when you raise it up, it actually looks pretty okay. Let's make it so that the arms look uniform. Looks kind of funny. Just trying different things. Seeing if a different rotation will make it look even better. This looks pretty okay so far. I think maybe a little bit less leg bend. What I'll probably do is I'll probably add even more guys running. Seems kind of fun. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, this is kind of like the people recording their order at Chipotle, and they get more food because of it. You're getting more dudes uh in your art because I'm recording it. You get more, but nah. That's just something funny I thought about. Why is his what did he just hit the frick? Did he just hit the he looks like he's dancing. That's kind of funny. There we go. Why is his hair like that though? I gotta fix that. There we go. And I'm gonna pose all the legs afterwards. What time is that? How long have I been recording for? An hour and 38. It's not even. It's not even. It's almost 2 hours. This is gonna be a 3 hour long piece of art. I didn't realize it took this long. I thought it was gonna take like 2 hours. Wow, we're almost at the 2 hour mark. If this gets to 2 hours, that's gonna be crazy. I mean, 3 hours, that'll be crazy. I don't think it'll take 3 hours though. We're already pretty much there for this first piece of art. And think about doing this for 50 more images, because currently I think I have about like 50 images that need 50 more images that need making. Think about doing this for 50 more images. It ain't much, but it's honest work. I'm getting paid. Actually, no, I'm not even getting paid for this one. He's paying through a boost, server boost. Which doesn't really give much except for the server having a higher level. But it does allow me to upload bigger files, which is important. So it actually helps a ton in that regard. There we go. Got to think about how to make it look like that they're actually like kind of jumping. Let me do the pose again. I actually think spreading out their legs more might work.
Yeah, I think spreading out their legs more will work. Oh, that get the legs. There we go. Because if you give them more like exaggerated motion, it gives more expression. That is something that does portray more emotion. Is more exaggerated like movements like this. Because again, at the end of the day, Roblox is a cartoon. So if you want to give them some like cartoonish looking poses, by all means, go for it. Roblox is literally just cartoons, but it's a video game. See, that actually looks a lot better. I'm losing my voice because I don't speak this much normally, but we're getting there. And we haven't even seen it rendered yet, so this will actually look pretty. I think this will look pretty cool rendered. Oh, I need to pose the lieutenant. He's doing it with them. Let's see him getting really into it. Let's see him get down into it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pose the heads. A little bit of variation never hurts. A little bit of variation in heads actually can make the image go a long way. Because it just adds a little bit of individuality to each of these dudes. There's not a lot of individuality that you can get with characters like this because they all look the same. But just anything just those little things help. Now, Mehola, if you're watching this, I'm gonna make them go the wrong way. I'm gonna make them go the wrong way on this thing so you can't see their faces. Actually, nah, it should be okay. I was gonna make the dudes on the high ropes course. I was gonna make them go this way, but they can go this way. It'll be okay. Because they don't have unique faces compared to the dudes on the ground, but we'll work it out. Oh, we want to keep that. Let's see. Oh yeah, this will look good. And then for posting things like this, I've done high ropes courses before for JRTC. I was in JRTC, and they're pretty fun. I kind of know how they go. This is definitely more dangerous than one because you don't have a harness holding you. So I imagine these dudes are terrified. I imagine these dudes are absolutely terrified. You gotta make sure that he's looking where he's going. Oh, that he's looking down. He's looking down. He's seeing if he falls, he's done for. He's kaputs. Actually, we can make him actually hold the rope because he's scared. He can be scared. He has a scar, but he's scared. And he's trying to reach for this one. Yeah, that looks good. I didn't see sometimes posing, it'll come to you as you see it. You just gotta look at it and be like, oh, you'll just look at it and you're like, oh, that actually looks perfect. And then you'll be like, hell yeah. Let's add, so we have one more dude over here. We can even have a dude falling. This guy, he's going to be walking the tightrope. Let's see if we can make him walk the tightrope. And by walk the tightrope, I mean let's see if we can get him kind of like this, where he's got his legs kind of like one behind the other, like he's walking the tightrope. What is this ad I'm hearing? Elder Scrolls Online. Hmm. Let's see. Let's have him hold this route. Actually, let's put this leg over here because he's gonna be walking this way, and then let's put this leg behind. Let's see how that'll look. Oh, he's really floating over that. Oh my goodness, he's really floating. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that actually looks perfect. Hell yeah. Imagine this video is longer than the Titanic movie. Me and my girlfriend were currently watching the Titanic movie, and that thing's like 3 hours. That'd be insane if this was longer than the Titanic movie. That'd be honestly kind of funny. And then the last guy on top here. Of course, the client can always request changes, which takes time. But so far, I think this is pretty spectacular. I don't know how many changes there will be. The only thing I could think that would be a change would be the covers. And you know what? We're actually pretty on our way to being done. Because after we render, it's gonna be Photoshop time, where we add the rest of our details. I think that looks pretty good. Let's see how it looks in render. Let's see if it crashes. Not bad. Let's see. Let's put this back. Let's see. I think that looks better. Lighting, it just really, you just gotta try different things. I think that looks pretty good. And now we're gonna add some greenery. Now for all you watching, I am sorry, but one of the easiest ways to get grass and trees is going to be through the toolbox. But I have a little bit of a cheat. I have an add-on that a friend gifted me that allows me to add grass that looks good. So I apologize in advance because you won't be able to follow along for this part because it is a paid for add-on. It's not free. There is a free one though. There is this one, Grasswald. Grasswald is okay. Grasswald will get the job done if you really if you really hate looking for grass. Because I've not really looked for grass in a long time. I don't know what the market's like on the toolbox, but it's gonna be your best bet. It's the toolbox if you don't want to pay for an add-on. And then let's see. I want to give this some orange. I want to give it some orange flair to it. That's why I'm doing this. Of course, it's gonna look kind of bad because there's literally nothing else in the image. But once we add our grass, we add our trees. It's gonna look so good. So scatter assets, grass. 2.3 size. This is the other reason why this is so resource intensive on computers. 20,000 particles. I don't know how. I have no idea how Roblox does it with their particle system. I guess that their geometry is really not that complicated. But like here, yeah, this is complicated. That looks pretty good. And of course, we'll probably adjust the lighting as we go along because I'm not happy with it. I'm gonna get rid of this for now. But let's add trees. This is what this whole add-on is mainly for, is trees, because it comes with so many trees. And I'm gonna hide this so that it doesn't lag as much. And now we're just gonna copy, add different, and then there's also this random transformation, which is a beautiful asset. Is a beautiful little part of this add-on because it just adds a little bit, adds variation. And you want variation because in art, you want to make it look as organic as possible. You don't want to make it look uniform because nature has no uniformity. There is no uniformity when it comes to trees. There is no uniformity when it comes to textures. And so you gotta make it, you gotta try and give it that non-uniformity. And then I add trees right there so that you don't see the sky when you're like looking at it like that. And then you can add some shrubs. Add some more close plants that give it a little bit more detail. So that we can add like a little bush that lives right here, as Bob Ross likes to do. Add a little happy tree. Add a little happy bush there. Give him a friend. Like for this little bush here, I'm gonna give him a friend, like that. There we go. And then using Blender Kit, I can look for like a rock, free of course, because I don't have the premium version of Blender Kit. Rock, can scale that up a bit. We're gonna give it a happy little friend here. I'm gonna just start being Bob Ross for a second. We're gonna give it a happy little friend. Right there. Beautiful. Doesn't have to be much. Just be little. I feel like rocks give a lot of detail. Just because they're rocks. You don't really see rocks, but seeing them I think helps. Oops, I didn't mean to pull him down. I didn't mean to make him become one with the earth. And now, when we go back into rendered view, you're going to see that this is actually starting to look more lively. And there you go. It's starting to look more lively. Like even just with the trees and the grass, it's added so much to it. And now let's add the sky back. Look at that. Of course, there's more that we can add. I'll think about what I can add. Because of course you want to add more. You want to add more. But so far this is very good. This is very good. What I'm thinking of adding though. Now this isn't really what he requested. I'm thinking of adding a like a little bit of like a tower in the back. Just to give it a little bit of something, because always just adding a little bit of something is good. So like radio tower. Let's see what we got. Like a World War II tower. I think this one will work. There's not much that you can add because the scene's already pretty filled. And that's okay. If the scene's already like extremely filled, don't pressure yourself to add more. You don't want to make it too cluttered. Let's take a look at it again. Beautiful. Looking good, looking good. Add a tower. And I will add a radio tower. Radio tower, no, radio tower. I want to see like a World War II radio tower. That looks like the Eiffel Tower. Okay. Sometimes it takes a few attempts. Ooh, I like this with the little announcement things and stuff. That looks cool. Pole. I'm gonna name that pole. That's perfect. That's the little bit of detail that I needed. That's the little bit of detail that I wanted. Mmm, beautiful. What are these? These stretchers? That was perfect though. What about power lines? Nah. And I believe that one's already textured. Mmm, that's perfect. Oh, what happened to the texture? Oh no. Okay, it wasn't textured. I thought it was. That's okay. It looked like it was textured in the thing though. No, it wasn't. Okay. Alright, we'll make this wood. We're gonna change the direction of that so it actually like looks like it's a pole and not like it's a hamburger. There we go. We can actually change this to be like a metal texture since it's like kind of prominent. You're gonna see. You're definitely gonna notice it. What? Okay, that's not the type of texture I wanted. It was this one that I like. This is one that I use all the time for helmets. There we go. And then let me add that one tower. We at 2 hours yet? We're at 2 hours and 1 hour and 58 minutes. We're gonna hit 2 hours. And then this is just like a background object. This isn't supposed to be like the main thing. It just adds a little bit of detail. It's not really important. It's just detail. You like to add detail. Even if it's something minor, it'll add. Just gotta make sure that the texture's good. Perfect. What we'll do is I'm gonna add like a tree kind of close up right there. Same right there. And then probably one more tree. And now, I'd say this is good to render. I'd say that this is very good to render. Alright. Actually, let's change this guy's face. Change him to Officer 2. I think Officer 2 is the one with the guy screaming. Nope, it's the same dude right there. Officer 1. There we go. Make him screaming. Make him look at the dude. There we go. All right, let me close out. Let me close out Roblox Studio before rendering this, because rendering something like this will take a lot of resources on your PC. So let's see. Let's see if it does it. It's doing it. Nice. Because sometimes what will happen is your GPU will run out of memory, and it just won't render. And it'll start rendering. GPU is faster than rendering with your CPU. That's why it's going pretty fast with the samples. This looks pretty good though. I think one more. There we go. And now to give it some more detail, you can add some glare. You see how that adds just a little bit of like flare to the image? There you go. Look at that. No, that's not all that we're going to do though. So we're going to save this as a training render. And we can of course turn down that in, we can turn that down in Photoshop if it's too bright. But Photoshop is where you're going to see a big change happen. This already looks pretty good. This looks great. I'm happy with this. But there's a little bit more that we can do. Actually, a lot more that we can do. Now, I don't know if he wants text or not. I'm just going to leave the text off for this video. But wow, this is like one of my signature things. I add an inner shadow to make the image appear more soft on the sides and give it a more dramatic effect. Let me get my signature. And now I'm still gonna save like the best part of it for last. Actually, no, I'm gonna do this first, so that way I know where I need to add more effects. So using raw camera filter is a great tool, is a great way to add more detail. Because look at this, if you turn up the clarity, boom, look at all that clarity. Look at all of it, and then texture, you get so much out of it. Dehaze it a bit to add some color. Vignette to give it a more cinematic effect. Grain to add a little bit more detail back. Don't overdo the grain. I only do about like 4, and then that really helps with like adding a little bit of detail. These belts are really dark. I think we might be able to have to we may have to go back and fix that. Yeah, we'll definitely have to go back and fix that. Those belts are dark. But if we add yellow, might be able to fix it. Maybe. I don't think so. That's okay though. And now we have this. Just from one simple tool in Photoshop, we were able to add a lot of detail just with one simple thing. This is like a little trick. And now this is another trick. You want to add like a little bit of like light flare. This blue is a bit too bright. Let's make it a bit more subtle. Radarize. And now, look at that. Adds just a little bit of flare to it. And another thing that we can do with this little line kind of looking gradient, we can add like this. And let's say you want to make it look like that there's like some light coming down. Kind of like on his face, kind of like this. So you want to add like another one. Now, I probably won't add like a second one, actually. I'll just add the one. Raderize this. Get rid of like the bottom part. Look at that. Adds a little bit of flare to it. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Now it's just kind of look over the image, see if there's anything that I want to add to it. Nope. This looks pretty good. The grass is pretty big, but I mean they're literally in training in like a rural environment, so that's perfectly okay. I think this is pretty good. Something that I could do. If I want to add more cinematic flair, you could even darken the sides even more. Put this to like soft, or not even soft, just kind of like do that. It just again cinematics. Can't go wrong with making it look like it's a cinematic. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna end the video here. This is going to be pretty much the final product. This was a start to finish of how long it takes to just get started, all the way to making the first image out of however many they may have requested. Now, there's definitely things that I'm going to go back and change about this. Like mainly the officers' belts because they look black. I don't like that. They're supposed to be brown, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to change that. But other than that, this is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hopefully this doesn't take 4 hours to upload to YouTube. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video where I'm making who knows what. We'll see. All right, take care, guys. See ya.